Welcome to Everyday English Tips. Today's story is titled From Tears to Triumph, The Girl Who Believed in Herself. This is the inspiring journey of a girl named Alina, a girl whose life began with pain, struggle, and tears. She was told she wasn't smart enough. Her English was laughed at. Her confidence was crushed. But instead of giving up, Alina made a decision. She would believe in herself, even if no one else did. That belief became her power. She wasn't born into comfort. She had no extra support, no special opportunity, and no mentor by her side. But she had one thing that changed her life: faith in herself. And that belief took her from silence to strength, from rejection to recognition, from tears to triumph. Alina grew up in a poor neighborhood on the edge of a busy city, where dreams were often broken by daily survival. Her family didn't have much: a tiny apartment, worn-out furniture, shared school books, and meals that barely filled their stomachs. Her father worked long hours as a janitor, and her mother cleaned houses. Life was all about making ends meet. School was difficult. Alina couldn't speak English well and was often mocked for her pronunciation and mistakes. One day, her teacher asked her to read aloud. She stumbled on the words. The class laughed. That evening, she sat on the floor of her bedroom and cried silently. She whispered to herself, "Why can't I be like them?" But another voice, deep inside, said, "You're not like them. You're stronger." That night, she made a promise. "I will try again tomorrow." At home, there was no internet, no private tutor, no extra books. But there was one thing: a mirror. Every night, Alina stood in front of it, repeating simple English phrases. "Hello, how are you? My name is Alina. I want to learn." She didn't wait for someone to teach her. She became her own teacher. She used a small notebook to write down new words she overheard during the day. Sometimes she would copy sentences from food wrappers or signs on the street. Her pronunciation was poor, her spelling full of mistakes, but she kept going. That mirror became her classroom, her notebook, her textbook, her courage, her greatest resource. One day, her school announced a small English speech competition. Alina's heart raced. Her classmates laughed. "You? Speaking in English?" Her fingers trembled as she picked up the registration form. She almost walked away. But then she remembered all those nights in front of the mirror. She remembered every tear she had turned into a lesson. She signed up. That night she wrote her speech. Just 5 lines. Simple words, but they were hers. She practiced over and over, sometimes until midnight. She recorded herself on her cheap phone, listening, correcting, repeating. The morning of the competition, her mother hugged her tightly and said, "I'm already proud of you." Alina smiled. Her eyes were full of fear and fire. On the day of the competition, she walked onto the stage. Her legs trembled. Her palms were wet. She looked at the crowd, familiar faces, but unfamiliar emotions. Some students whispered. Some giggled. She took a deep breath. "My name is Alina," she began. "I believe in myself." Each sentence that followed was clear, emotional, and filled with honesty. "I was scared. I made mistakes, but I never stopped." By the time she finished, the room was quiet. Then came the applause. Loud, long, and real. She didn't win a trophy, but she won something greater: her own belief. That small moment changed everything. Her teacher handed her an old English grammar book. "Keep going," he said. Alina carried that book like it was gold. She read it cover to cover, made notes in the margins, underlined new words, and whispered the sentences into the mirror. She joined a local library, took out one English book at a time, and read them slowly. She watched English cartoons and kids' shows with subtitles, writing down phrases she liked. She made flashcards from recycled paper and stuck them on the wall above her bed. Every night, before sleeping, she picked 5 words and made 5 sentences aloud. Her bedroom became a classroom. Her wall, a dictionary. In school, her teacher started noticing the change. She asked more questions, participated in class, helped other students with reading. She was no longer the girl who sat quietly. She was becoming someone people looked up to. Her school principal invited her to a regional English workshop. It was her first time leaving the city, her first time sitting on a panel, her first time speaking in front of strangers. And she did it with poise, clarity, and pride. She met students from other cities who struggled like her, and she encouraged them. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin, she told them. She was no longer just learning English. She was living it. After school, Alina received a scholarship to study at a nearby college. She chose English literature. In her first class, she introduced herself in fluent English. Her professor paused and said, "Your confidence is inspiring." She volunteered for presentations, joined the debate club, and even wrote a blog about her learning journey. Thousands of students began reading her posts, sharing her words. She gave free workshops to girls from low-income neighborhoods. Each time, she started with the same line. "I once stood in front of a mirror, afraid to say hello. But look where I am now." Years later, Alina became an English coach and public speaker. She opened a small language center in her community, the same one that once laughed at her. She trained girls who never believed they could speak. She helped boys who had failed exams find their confidence. Parents thanked her. Students hugged her. She even appeared on a national education program to share her story. When asked what her secret was, she smiled and said, "It wasn't magic, it was belief. And repetition." Today, Alina is more than a success story. She's a reminder that no matter where you start, you can go far, if you believe. Her students still struggle with English, still make mistakes, but she tells them, "I made those mistakes too, and I still do, but I never stopped." She still keeps her mirror, the one where it all began. Sometimes she stands in front of it, smiles at her reflection, and says, "From tears to triumph." Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this story if it inspired you. More English stories coming soon.